we're going to go live right now to Studio 2A, where I'm joined by the Rifle. Take it away, gang.
So tell me what you're thinking. Opinions right now. Opia, opia,
You're tuned in to 91.3 KXCI Tucson. My name is Matt Milner. This is Locals Only, and I'm live in Studio 2A with The Rifle. How's it going?
Good.
Doing good.
We're happy to be here. Yeah, thank you for having us.
Well, we're very happy to have you. We'll start off with introductions. Why don't we go around? Everybody can let us know who you are and what you're playing tonight.
I'm Nalene. I play guitar and I sing.
I am Kevin, and I play the bass guitar.
My name is Randy, and I play the drums.
We got Randy over there on the drums. We've got Kevin on bass and Lean on guitar and vocals. So, this is an exciting week.
Yes.
What's going on?
This week, yeah.
This week of all, I mean,
This
every week's exciting.
It's off to a great start.
but
already.
this is a very exciting week. So, what do you have in store for everybody on Friday?
Oh, it's our album release party. It's going to be a good show. We've got Fawn Bones and Miss Abysmal, both awesome local acts, going to be playing it too.
Mhm.
And we'll be playing our music and, yeah. And
There might be balloons.
There might
Working on
be
balloons. We have
balloons.
new
Might
merch that we're going to unleash
Yes.
upon the crowds.
Yes.
And, yeah.
It's
In the
gonna be a good time.
bar pass.
Good old time.
Yeah. Very good. Very good.
And 9 o'clock is the doors for that one, Bar Passe.
Mm-hmm.
And I actually haven't been to a rock show there since they switched over to Bar Passe. Are you guys going to be
Same.
inside? Or are you going to be outside? How's that going to work?
I believe we're going to be playing on the patio. That was my understanding. But I think
Yeah.
we might be the first show there since
Since they started doing the shows
Since they
again.
started doing
I think
shows
they stopped
again,
doing
yeah.
shows. Now they're
Right.
doing shows.
Yeah.
They've
Cool.
been doing
Now
a
they
lot
have a
of
bar.
DJ sets.
Yeah, yeah.
People come and play the music.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yes, yes.
So let's talk about the record. What is the name of the new album?
It's called Anabasis.
Are any of you classicists or Greek scholars, or where does
I
the
don't
name
know.
come from for you?
We've got a good nose for that.
Yeah. Well, we just all happen. So the word Anabasis means a journey from the coast to the interior of a country. And we all.
Textbook definition.
Just look it up, Wikipedia.
Yeah. Google it, guys. And we all kind of are from the West Coast and sort of ended up in Tucson by accident / on purpose.
Traveled
And
inward to be desert-faring folk.
yes,
Right.
Up.
yes,
Quite a bit up.
yes. And it
For
also,
sure.
I don't know, it just feels like like this. I'm really excited about this album. It does feel like it was sort of like a journey putting it together, and like, I don't know, like the process from like some of the songs on there were songs that I wrote when I was just a solo artist before I even put together the band, and the fact that it sort of like starts there and then ends at this like really collaborative place where we're writing together and jamming a lot, and I don't know, it feels like a journey.
Yeah, it made sense. I think we sat on it for a little bit and we're like, that's it.
So who was the person with the high SAT verbal score who suggested the name and was familiar with the word?
It was me.
It was Milner, yeah.
I had actually thought of my past like releases and then our last EP, I've sort of thought of like choose a song that sort of encapsulates the whole album and then just sort of go for that as the album name. But it's sort of a lazy way of doing it, and Kevin and Randy voiced that they did not want to do that. They wanted it to have like its own name, which I liked. So
There you
yeah.
go. So again, the new album is called Anabasis. On Friday, June 2nd at Bar Passe is the album release show. When will it be available for either digitally or through whatever other channels you're selling it?
June 2nd. It'll be up on Spotify. It'll be on, I don't know what else, on Apple Music. And
Oh, did we do that one?
I don't know. I don't remember. I can't remember.
Spotify?
It'll definitely be up on Spotify,
For
and
sure.
it'll be up on Bandcamp.
Mhm.
And obviously, you can get a copy in person.
Physical copies.
With us.
We have some great tapes from Baby Tooth.
Yes, Baby Tooth Records did.
Excellent.
Looking
did
for your
tapes
analog
for us.
fix.
Mm-hmm.
Got that.
Yeah.
And you'll have all that physical media available on Friday night?
Yes.
Mhm.
Yes, please
Excellent.
come by it all.
Yes, please. Yeah, please. Or just come by and say hello.
Look at it and touch it. Yeah.
And then put it back in.
Buy it at a later date.
Yeah.
So you talked about the different phases that some of these songs have come from.
Yeah.
Some of them dating back to when you were a solo artist.
Mhm.
Some early in this band's history, and then more recent ones as well. I'm curious. Do you think when you listen to the album, are you able to pick out the different phases? Can you hear, oh, this is a song that was a solo song? You think that they've all gotten to the point now where that you've taken ownership over them as a full band at this point?
I think we've taken ownership of them as a full band. I will say though, because I am very like nitpicky and critical of myself, some things lyrically I'm like, oh, that was so like beginner or like
So
whatever.
freshman.
Yeah, but that's just me being. I hope no one else can like listen to it and be like, that's a level 1 lyricist there.
But what's the time frame that we're talking about?
Let's see. So I was writing songs and recording them solo in I think 2014, and then I think that we didn't. Did we? Randy, did you join the band in 2015?
I believe so. I think it was 2015.
Okay. Yeah, so it was 2015 when The Rifle went from being a solo act to being a band because I wanted to play shows live. And then we had a number of lineup changes and we kind of waited till, or didn't wait, but it wasn't until maybe like early 2016 that I feel like we really got our footing and we had like this lineup set, comfortable, writing together, committing to each other.
Spending lots of time together.
Yes.
Yeah, it became a lot more cohesive, I think.
Yeah, I absolutely agree.
I think you can hear it when you listen to the album. You know, if you go back and listen to the Spill EP and, you know, just juxtapose the two albums, I think there is a pretty clear difference.
And correct me if I'm wrong, there's at least one song that reappears from the Spill EP. Did you re-record the song? Is it a new version, or
it's a new version?
Oh,
so yeah.
What are you talking about, Matt? No, yeah, sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, I don't know. Sometimes we, I don't want to say we get bored with songs, but when we've played them for a long time, sometimes we try and like approach them as though there's something new for us to make and maybe change up the tempo or whatever. And in this case, we ended up kind of creating an entirely different version of a song. So
yeah, it just sort of happened by accident.
Yeah.
And that's the song Skeletons, right?
Skeletons,
yeah.
Yeah, because I remember, for certainly the last year plus, you've been playing that slower version live, and it's a really lovely arrangement. It's basically a different song, though.
Yeah.
So it's fun that there's now a memorial of this version of it as well. So once again, this Friday, June 2nd, Bar Passe, 9 o'clock doors, Fawn Bones and Miss Abysmal on the bill as well for the Anabasis LP release show. Before we get into our next set, if people want to keep track of what's going on in the world of the Rifle online, what is the best way to do that?
Would you say Instagram or Facebook?
Instagram is really fun. I think they have a lot more interactive things going on.
We're at The Rifle Band on Instagram.
And on Facebook too, it's at The Rifle Band if you're tagging us, I think.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
I also keep up a Tumblr page. It's therifle.tumblr.com, and there's specifically a shows tab that I log all of our shows that are coming up for like the next month or so, and I keep it pretty updated. So
excellent. All right, well, we're going to hear another set from the Rifle live in Studio 2A. Remember, if you happen to be listening live on the radio right now, that if you'd like, you can actually watch this performance if you go to creativetucson.org, or if you have cable, you can watch it on the Creative Tucson channel, which is going to be channel 20 if you're a Cox customer. And with that, we're going to get into our next set live in Studio 2A. Here's the Rifle on Locals Only. You're tuned in to 91.3 KXCI Tucson. My name is Matt Milner. This is Locals Only, live in Studio 2A with The Rifle. Thanks again for coming down, everybody.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks for having us again.
The new album is called Anabasis, comes out on Friday, June 2nd. The release show is going to be at Bar Passe. Doors are at 9 o'clock. Again, that's Friday night. Fawn Bones and Miss Abysmal opening up. And then do you have a sense for what time you'll be playing?
11-ish?
Last. Probably
yeah,
like 11,
we're playing last, so depends on...
Yeah.
I mean, doors are at 9, so the first act should be going on, 9:30, 9:45-ish.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Just add on an hour to each after
Show
that.
math.
There you go.
Yeah. Well, fine, but I don't know. Maybe probably 11. By 11.
11-ish would be good. But, I mean, Fawn Bones and Miss Abysmal are also really awesome, so...
Yeah.
Should
Please come for the party.
come for the whole thing.
Yeah, come for the whole thing.
Yeah.
It's going to be a great night.
Yeah.
And for people who don't know, when we talk about Bar Passe, we're talking about the Cafe Passe space. They've got that back room where Wooden Tooth Records was originally, and it's now set up as a bar. So if you're wondering what we're talking about, Cafe Passe on 4th Avenue.
Cafe Passe.
They hired Parker Arriaga to come take it over and
Take over.
make it into what it is
bookends
right
and
now.
Things, yeah.
Yeah. Get your drinks from Parker on that night.
So let's talk about the process that went into the creation of this album. Where did you record?
We recorded at Midtown Island. It's the place to be if you want to record something. Go to Midtown Island. Talk to Matt Rendon.
And had you worked with Matt before?
Yeah,
Yeah.
actually, Spill EP we also did with Matt. So.
Did you have, given that you'd had that experience working with Matt on the Spill EP, you kind of knew what he could bring to the table and what kind of sound he could help you to achieve. Did you have a more specific sense going into this experience of what, if anything, you wanted to do differently, or did you feel like, from a sonic perspective and a production perspective, you wanted to hew pretty closely to the Spill EP?
I think we were pretty happy with how Spill EP turned out, and that was, at least for me, my first studio recording experience. And I sort of, I don't know, Matt guided the way like a spirit guide, and I think we just wanted that again for the full length album. But
He recorded the drums in stereo this time.
Oh,
He
yeah,
convinced
you
us
did do that.
to do that.
yeah,
He was
that's
really excited. We were excited. Randy
yeah.
was excited.
They
Here's
sound
some
really good.
sick panning with the toms and the
Yeah.
fills. And
So that was new.
Yeah, it was also new because going into Spill EP, we had all the songs written. When we went in the first time, the first session for the full-length album, we didn't have the whole album written. So we recorded like 4 songs, I think, the first weekend, and then we took them home, we listened to them, we were still writing stuff. So it was kind of a cool experience being able to sort of like listen to how it sounded so far and let that sort of inform what we worked on next, or like what we thought it needed. Or
A lot of reflecting time.
yes.
Is there an example that you can think of a song that you were either in the process of writing or wrote entirely after recording started? And if so, how did the experience of recording those earlier songs and listening to them shape the final product for the song?
Well, so in general, when I write songs, like if I didn't have the band in mind, I tend to write slow, bare ballads. Is sort of like what my instinct is. And but when we play a lot of music and like write together, I tend to want to write like fun, jammy, loud, fast things.
Sure.
And then after we had almost all of the songs recorded, I was in the middle of sort of writing a slow, chill, ballady kind of song called Panagrass and Feverfew, and it was at the very beginnings when we finished our second to last recording session, and I don't know, I think because we had all of this like loud, fast stuff there already, I felt like it's okay to have like a chill, cool ballad in the mix there, so I kind of just let that be as chill as it wanted to be.
that happened with Spill too on our EP.
Yeah, that's true.
We didn't have Spill written completely. It just sort of popped up right before we went into the studio.
Yeah, and that was the same with Panic Grass. I wrote it not long before we recorded it, and it's pretty, because it's pretty slow and simple and chill, Kevin and Randy were able to come up with something really fast and just let it
Just
be
slapped it
its own
together.
thing. Yeah. No.
Done.
All right.
So how many sessions, all in all, did you go in and track?
Was it 4?
4.
4, I think.
2 2-day sessions.
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
yes.
And then some mastering. So maybe like 4 or 5.
Yeah, something like that.
And what was the time period from the first day that you walked into the studio until the end of the mastering process?
Oh, months.
It was
months and months.
It was like late November.
Yeah,
our very
when we first started it.
Very first session. And I don't remember when we finished it.
Yeah, we finished it a couple months ago.
How, if at all, did your relationship to these songs change in the process of working on the album?
Oh, well, it's great. We get them recorded, and then we have the mixes, and then we listen to the mixes, and we're like really close to the songs, and then, well, me personally, and then I stop listening to them, and I can't get any more of the songs in my head, and then I go back to them, and I think, oh, this is good now. This is good.
I always end up wanting to re-record them like way later on, because by the time we've had them recorded and mixed and mastered and everything, I usually have created some better parts for the songs that I'd rather have on the recording. But, what can you do?
Sure.
And I do the opposite. When I first listen to it, I'm so critical of everything I hear. I nitpick it to pieces, and then I wait a couple days, sometimes like a couple weeks, and then when I listen to them with time elapsed, I can kind of be like, oh, it's okay. But I like it now. I'm proud of the album.
Well, and it's a big deal, to have a full-length record under your belt as a band, and something that you put time and energy into is a great accomplishment. So once again, Friday, June 2nd at Bar Passe is going to be the album release show. There'll be physical copies available, both CD and cassette. The cassette's put out by Baby Tooth Records. And we also want to remind you as well that if you're not watching this right now, you can watch this performance on the KXCI YouTube channel in the next couple of days. Get a little sneak preview of what Friday night's show will look like as well. So right now we've got another 17, 18 minutes to go. If you'd like to do a little bit more live in here, then if we have time, we can also squeeze in one of the recorded tracks. Does that work?
Sounds wonderful.
So how many more live ones would you like to do in here?
We've got 2.
Yeah.
2. One is very long, though.
Yeah,
Okay.
One.
So we're gonna do 2 more here, and then if we have time, we'll squeeze in one from the record as well. But you're listening to The Rifle live in Studio 2A on Locals Only.
Cool.